You're tuning into Relationship Wednesday, where we expose the lies, set fire to the bullshit, and show you what real love should actually feel like. This is the Bad Influence Podcast, the podcast they warn you about. I'm your host, Bjordan Banderas, and today we're going through manipulation, codependency, and toxic patterns with a machete. If you're tired of walking on eggshells in your relationship, it ends now. Raw truth, real growth. Let's get into it. So, let's cut the bullshit right now. If sex is your comfort food, your therapy, your distraction, then you're not making love. You're making war against your own healing. So don't lie to yourself. You already know this. Every single time you reach for physical connection to silence emotional pain, you're deepening the wound, not healing it. Sex as a distraction isn't pleasure. It's anesthesia. You're numbing symptoms, never facing the source. You're burying your truth deeper with every empty encounter. So let me ask you a brutal question. What emotional void are you desperately trying to fill when you trade intimacy for a quick dopamine hit? If you want to share your answers, go ahead and put them in the comments because I would like to hear. I know why I used to do this. I just wanted to feel love because, the way that I grew up, there was no love. So in your situation, you think it's just desire driving you? That's not the case. Think again. Because it's loneliness, abandonment. It's the echo of feeling unworthy, unloved, unseen. Sex has become your cover-up, not your liberation. Every orgasm weaponized against your trauma is a step further from real healing. You're not connecting, you're hiding. And that's the problem. You're running, and running will always leave you empty. After the rush fades, do you feel peace or do you feel emptier? Because if silence after sex is louder than before, you were not making love. You were making noise. And here's one thing that people don't understand. And that's why I wanted to talk about this. Real intimacy, like being emotionally and physically naked in front of someone, is medicine. And quick, meaningless sex is just a cheap distraction with an expiration date. It's true. One heals wounds, the other just puts a flimsy band-aid over the infection. So let's be real. You're not the only one. We've all been there. Probably you have friends doing that right now, family members. Your own parents could be doing this even in their marriage. And the problem is that seeking quick fixes for emotional fractures, hoping temporary pleasure can fix permanent pain, is the worst thing that you can do because it never does. It never fixes anything. You've been sold a lie that physical closeness equals emotional healing. I don't know who started that. I don't know how this was misunderstood. But a lot of us think and thought this way for a really long time. But touch alone never healed what honesty couldn't face. Pleasure alone will never patch up what truth avoids. Right now, your healing can't survive solitude. Why? Because you're terrified to sit alone with your scars. You're using bodies as barricades against your truth. So I need you to understand this because this is critical. This is critical in order for you to heal and become the person that you must become in your relationship and in your life. If your healing depends on someone else's skin, it's not healing. It's not. And here comes the bitch lab of truth. Doing this, it's codependence in disguise. Let me tell you a story you might recognize. A guy named Jake, kept chasing sex to outrun his anxiety, his loneliness, his insecurities. Every night, a new distraction. Every morning, a deeper emptiness. He thought he was a lover, but he was really just a prisoner of his own avoidance. Jake wasn't free. Jake wasn't strong. Jake was terrified of facing himself without someone else's body as armor. And look, you might think using sex to avoid confrontation, resentment, or accountability is harmless, but you are wrong. You're just stacking dynamite beneath your relationship's foundation. And eventually, this is the part that people don't understand, the fuse burns down. And eventually, the smoke clears. And when it does, you're left with no intimacy, no foundation, just mutual loneliness with benefits. If your bed is the only place you feel seen, you're lying to yourself. Because real visibility isn't in naked bodies, it's in naked souls, fully exposed and fully accepted. So ask yourself right now, when was the last time someone truly saw you without needing to touch you? Listen, you're not weak for seeking validation through sex. You're human. But here's the harsh truth. Every time you use someone else's desire to prove your worth, you're abandoning your own. Sex can't validate you. It can't fix your trauma. And it can't make you feel chosen, loved, or whole if you don't already believe you're worthy without it. Your body is not currency. Your bed is not therapy. Your heart is not collateral damage in a war against your past. It's time to stop confusing pain relief with intimacy. Intimacy requires vulnerability, honesty, openness, not numbness, escape, or distraction. And yeah, facing your demons is terrifying. Believe me, I know. I know. But it's also the only path to real freedom. If your emotional pain drives compulsive sexual behavior, ask yourself, whose validation am I chasing? Whose approval am I desperate for? And why the hell isn't my own enough? Trauma, abandonment, rejection, they teach you a fucked up lesson. That love is earned through your body, through your performance, through your suffering. And if you believe that lie, you'll keep trading your body for acceptance, trading your integrity for scraps of affection. But here's your wake-up call. Acceptance bought with sex isn't acceptance at all. It's emotional blackmail, a hostage negotiation between your heart and your trauma. So imagine this. Two people finally stop using sex to avoid their problems and start having the tough conversations. The raw, the ugly, the messy truths finally spoken aloud. And guess what happens? Guess what happens when adults do that? When you actually become an emotional adult and you can actually have adult conversations. Real intimacy happens. Real connection happens. The kind that sees your scars and stays anyway. The kind that turns your weaknesses into strengths. Real intimacy isn't about climax. It's about courage. It's about choosing authenticity over distraction, even when it's uncomfortable as hell, because it will be uncomfortable. And look, If sex has become your coping mechanism, you're not broken. No, I don't want you to feel broken because you're not. You're misinformed. Yeah, you are. Maybe nobody guided you correctly through life. Nobody gave you the proper guidance that you needed, just like it happened with me. Because sex was never meant to bear the weight of your unresolved trauma. Sex can amplify connection, deepen bonds, but only if you first confront your emotional truth. Ask yourself now, what emotion am I terrified to feel if I stop distracting myself with physical pleasure? Loneliness? Anger? Sadness? Shame? Whatever the answer is, face it. Sit with it. Feel it fully. Stop running and start confronting. You want actionable steps? Yes? Good, because here they are. First, identify when you're using sex as a distraction. Acknowledge it. Call yourself out. Second, build emotional resilience. Meditate, journal, go to therapy. Do whatever it takes to feel your feelings without needing immediate escape. Third, communicate your truth with honesty. Stop hiding behind your body and start revealing your heart. Because vulnerability heals, avoidance destroys. And when you use your body as currency to feel good, to feel accepted, there will be a point in your life where obviously your body is going to get old. You may not be able to perform the same, menopause, andropause, low testosterone, There's so many things that happen to men and women that are going to prevent you from having sex. You could get sick. You could get injured. Your back might be out of place, so you can't have the sex that you were having before. So what are you going to do when that happens? That's why it's important to understand that if you use sex to feel good, that's only temporary until your body decides to give up, until you get sick, until you get in an accident, and until you can't perform anymore. That's why you have to stop avoiding what you really actually are running from. And I want you to understand this. Pleasure is not the enemy. Distraction is. Avoidance is. Weaponizing sex against your trauma is. You can reclaim healthy sexuality when you stop needing it to medicate emotional wounds. Self-worth doesn't come through orgasms. It comes through ownership. Ownership of your emotions, your healing, your story. Sex will never make you whole if you're unwilling to acknowledge what's missing inside you first. When you finally face the truth of your emotions, sex becomes sacred again. An expression of connection, not a desperate cry for help. Your body deserves better. Your heart deserves more. Your soul deserves authentic connection, not compulsive distraction. From today, choose healing over hiding. Choose courage over numbness. Choose truth over temporary distraction. It won't be easy, but healing never is. It demands discomfort. It demands honesty. It demands strength. So stop using sex to outrun your demons and start using truth to conquer them. Build intimacy first with yourself. Discover your own worth outside the bedroom. Then, when you share yourself with someone, it's not from the need, it's from the abundance. It's not from desperation, it's from empowerment. Real sex, real intimacy, real connection, they come after real healing, not before it. So commit today. No more emotional warfare disguised as pleasure. No more distracting yourself from your wounds. Your scars don't make you weak, they make you human. And acknowledging them doesn't diminish your worth, it amplifies them. Amplifies it. The moment you stop using sex as distraction, you take your power back. You reclaim your narrative. You deserve love that heals, not sex that numbs. You deserve intimacy that sees your soul, not distractions that hide your truth. Your past doesn't own you anymore. Trauma doesn't dictate your intimacy. From now on, intimacy becomes your medicine, not your anesthesia. You're not broken, you're healing, which is important. You're not weak, you're brave. Let this moment be your turning point. Choose authenticity, choose courage, choose genuine connection. Your body is sacred. You're healing even more so. Don't weaponize one against the other. Today, commit to facing yourself fully. No hiding, no running, just radical honesty and powerful healing. Because when you finally stop making war against your healing, you start making peace with your heart. And that's the intimacy you've been craving all along. So picture this. It's 2:12 a.m. The room is still warm from two bodies tangled just moments ago. The sheets are twisted, your breath is slowing, and the person lying next to you, already drifting into sleep or pretending to. You stare at the ceiling, heart racing, but for all the wrong reasons. You thought this will feel better. That they will feel better. That you would. But here's the problem. It's not the silence in the room that's deafening. It's the silence inside you. That gaping emptiness in your chest. That's not loneliness. It's the weight of knowing you just sold another piece of your soul for 5 minutes of feeling wanted. You tell yourself it's connection, that it's fun, that you're in control, but the truth is whispering louder than ever. You don't even know if they saw you. Not the curves, not the moans, you. You roll to the edge of the bed, scrolling through your phone, looking for distraction, but nothing hits. It's just noise, static. You wonder why your stomach sinks every time, why your worth feels lower, not higher, after it's over, why you keep using sex like a painkiller, numbing the anxiety, the rejection, the deep ache of being unseen. You tell yourself you're empowered, that you're in charge, but in this moment, naked, under cheap comforters, you feel more exposed than ever, and not in a good way. Not in a good way. Then it happens. A thought crashes through the spiral like a goddamn wrecking ball. What am I really chasing? It hits you hard. Not just in your head, but in your gut. It's not just about being touched. It's about not feeling forgotten. It's about proving you're still desirable, still wanted. It's about trying to fill a hole that love was supposed to patch, but no one ever taught you how to give yourself. So for once, you don't reach for another body. You reach for the truth. You sit in the discomfort. You cry instead of distract. You journal instead of text someone new. You face it. And that night, it's the first one in a long time where you actually sleep. That moment right there, that's where the healing began. Not with another orgasm, not with someone calling you sexy, but with you finally calling your own bluff. Because that silence after sex, it used to haunt you. But now, it's become sacred. Now, it's where you listen to what your body's really been screaming all along. Please, Stop abandoning me to be held. You were never meant to use your body to silence your emotions. You were meant to feel them, to honor them, to heal them. And from that night on, you made a vow. You're done making war against your healing. You're done selling peace for a few minutes of anesthesia. From now on, if they can't see your soul without touching your skin, they don't deserve it either. And remember, the choice is yours. And that's it for today. If this episode peeled back the mask on your relationship, don't ignore it. You deserve more than crumbs. Draw the line. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss the truth bombs that actually change lives. Share this with someone who needs to wake up to real love, not manipulation. This is the Bad Influence Podcast. Until next time, know your worth, speak your truth, never flinch, and have a great day.